Hello, friends. It's Mayalila DeVento, and I am coming to you live just on a whim from Albania. We are living in Sarandë in the south of Albania. Albania is just north of Greece, across from the heel of the boot from Italy, and south of, I think we're south of Montenegro, which I have not been to yet. And we've been here for about 3 weeks now. And so I wanted to share a few things. There's nothing actually that I hate about it here. I would say, well, I'll save it. Okay, let's try to work backwards. So I would say one of the things that I love, oh my God, it's raining right now. I just realized. I guess I'm not going to the beach today. One of the things I love is being on the coast. I'm gonna fix my crazy hair a little bit. So we are living just a few minutes from the beach, and one thing I don't like about Sarandë is the beaches are fairly tiny, like given the size, the number of apartments and buildings here and the people that are going to be here during the summertime, there's not very much beach space. There's like two little beaches in the north in the main part of town that are kind of half covered with dirt mounds and rubble right now, which I think they're going to smooth out and like make into more beach, but I'm not sure. It's just right now like giant piles of rock and sand and dirt. Um, but the water is beautiful. The water is this beautiful, crystal clear, like aqua turquoise combination that I love more than anything. And there are a few, I found a few little wild beaches that like they're not like public beaches for like the masses, but you have to kind of like climb down or hike down to them. And there is one that's a few minutes from our house, our current place. And then there's another one I found closer to our new house that we'll be moving to in like 5 days at the end of the month. And I feel like you ever get that feeling where you have like a hair or something and you keep poking and pulling and there's nothing there, but it's like you feel it. It's like a phantom hair in your eyeball. Not in your eyeball, but like outside your eyeball. It's driving me nuts. Um so there's these little tiny wild beaches, and they like it's not sand so much as like white pebbles, like white rocks, and so the water is super clear, and just like it transitions from white into aqua turquoise, and it's like just so gorgeous. And we're on the sea, the Mediterranean Sea, so the waves are little. It's not like the Pacific Ocean with like massive waves. It's like little waves. There were bigger waves yesterday. Now I know because the storm was coming in and it was quite windy. Um, but yeah, we've been loving the beaches. Um, Something I don't really enjoy is all the construction. There is a shit ton of construction going on here, and it feels like an unregulated boom in development. Albania was communist until around 1991, 1992, which is the same for Georgia when the country of Georgia liberated itself, I guess, from Russia. I don't know the history, so I'm not going to say, like, I don't think Albania was being ruled by Russia at the time, like Georgia was, or occupied, or whatever was going on. But yeah, Albania is a newly capitalistic society, like newer than Europe and the United States, obviously. And so apparently the infrastructure is not that great. Like I would say probably the number one thing that I don't like is that you can't drink the tap water. It smells bad in our apartment, and that could be just because there's nobody else in our building. We're the only ones here, and I think it's been empty for quite a while. But yeah, they definitely have water issues here. The locals don't drink the tap water either. And I saw a woman on Facebook who she was using like a Brita filter to clean the water out of the tap, and she got a bacterial infection and was hospitalized. So, so yeah, that's I love clean water. I love pure water. I love spring water. That was one thing I loved about Georgia is we were about a 20-minute hike from a spring that was like coming out of the mountain that we lived at the base of, and so we could go get fresh spring water there, and just walk there from our house, which is amazing. Which was in the city of Tbilisi. And so here, apparently, there is a spring up in the mountains, but you have to get a taxi cab to get up there, unless you have a car, which I don't have a car here, which you don't need a car because it's very walkable, which I love that. I love the walkability. I love a walkable town or city where it's very intimate and you can get everywhere walking. Um, we're on like the south end of town, and it takes maybe like 30 minutes to get into the main town, 25 minutes to 30 minutes. And then we haven't been to the western side of town, but it's maybe a full hour to get like from one end to the other. So that for me is good. Like I feel really actually fit and healthy because we have to walk everywhere. We have to walk to the grocery store. We have to carry giant jugs of water um, up to our apartment. And I actually like that because then your exercise is built into your day-to-day life. And so you can't just go for a week or two without taking a good hour-long walk. Like you're kind of forced into it, which that functions well for me. Um, so the water situation, I don't enjoy. The walking situation, I do enjoy. The beaches, I do enjoy. It's very sunny here. We were in France before this in a very rainy, dark, rainy part of France and during winter. And so there was just a lot of rain. And so it is very nice to be back in the sunshine, even if it rains a little bit. I guess I saw on the thing it's like 6 or 7 days of rain a month in the month of March, which I'm like, I'm fine with that. Like that's doable for me. Um, we've also found a few parks. I have two daughters, and so finding playgrounds for them to play at is quality of life for us, part of quality of life. And so there are a couple of good playgrounds that we found. There is an expat community, so that's also part of quality of life. It's isolating traveling long term. I have my kids, so I'm not completely isolated, but you're constantly moving, going to new places, looking for new friends. And I'm very weird. Like I'm a weirdo, and so it's not. Mm, I can't just go to church and find people to hang out with. Like I have extremist views on most of reality and things in life. And so I find it difficult to find people that I resonate with and that don't think I'm insane or the devil. I recently had an interaction with a friend that I met in Thailand, and I was talking about drinking menstrual blood because I feel like a lot of this Epstein stuff with child sacrifice and eating babies and blood and blah 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 is actually related to not using female menstrual blood for ritual, because that is absolutely a part of human history and human nature. And menstrual blood is chock full of stem cells. But you see why it's hard for me to make friends. So yeah, it's hard for me to find friends that I resonate with, and there's not like a conscious community here. Like I tend to go to hippie places and like places where there are more extremist hippie weirdos. Um, and there are not many here that I'm finding a few, which I haven't met in person yet. Cause even then, they can have extremist weirdo viewpoints, but they still might not be your flavor of weirdo. Um, but did I mention that menstrual blood is extremely rich in stem cells? And so scientifically speaking, like people pay so much money for stem cell therapy and and like women provide free stem cell therapy every month. And if you put it on your face, your skin will get so soft and radiant. And there's a bunch of other also like magical properties and shame erasal properties, and it's all interconnected to patriarchy and the removal of the divine feminine from positions of spiritual power and just any kind of power. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Albania. So, um, and I don't know if all of this is going to get like this video flagged or deleted or what, but, it's like, hey, let's see what happens. So finding weirdos. There's not even a yoga studio here right now. There is, I think, a gym that might offer yoga sometimes or like Pilates. But when I got here and I Googled yoga studio, which is usually a good, safe place to actually start to find some conscious community, I was like, fuck, there's not an open yoga studio right now. And it was off season. So somebody this week now is offering yoga on the beach. And so I was like, awesome. I will go meet these people. Hopefully they are my flavor of weird and I have some friends here in person. Um, I amuse myself. What else? I like that there are not a million ants here. Like I haven't there. I've seen some ants out in nature, and it's kind of deserty terrain. Like there's scrub brush, there's lots of rocks, there's some like yucca plants kind of that we've seen. Um, hold on, let's just kind of get the hair under control. So yeah, it's more deserty, which I sometimes enjoy. Like I prefer that to like crazy ant jungly scenarios like in Asia where there's just everything's covered in ants all the time. So I like that there's not a ton of bugs. I don't know what's going to happen with mosquitoes as it gets warmer. I'm assuming there's going to be mosquitoes here, but for now, like I've seen just maybe one mosquito or two. Here's a funny thing, and it's not like a like or a love, but the buildings, the residential buildings here apparently don't really have addresses. So you can't receive mail to a residential address. It just gets shipped to the local post office and then they call you. So you have to have an Albanian number and then you can go pick up your stuff. And I think that is incredible that they don't have addresses and a mail system that functions like most of the rest of the developed world. So I kind of love that. And it's also kind of scary. It's like if I have something shipped here, which is insane, like my friend was looking into shipping something here from the United States. And I thought maybe it would be max $100. And she was told it would be $200 to $400. And this is for something small. And I was like, holy fuck. And then you've got customs on top of that. Cause like they don't have Amazon here, which Georgia doesn't either, which I kind of love that. But then also that makes it hard to just get stuff. And then yeah, they charge customs. And so I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm afraid of getting anything shipped here. And there's again in a tiny town, there's limited availability. But I do like the smaller, I like the intimacy, I like the small size, I like the slower pace of life. There's people are very friendly here in Georgia. People are not so friendly, and there's a lot of heaviness and darkness and just kind of rudeness, to be honest, especially in the service industries. Like not so much restaurants, but if you go into a store in Georgia, the country, you feel like you're imposing on the person and they do not want you there, which is like, but I want to buy something. And they're like, get the fuck out. And so people are very friendly here. I think it's also just the proximity to the coast and the ocean or the sea. I feel like when you're closer to the sea, people are friendlier and they're just happier in general and it's sunnier. So Albanians seem to be quite friendly for the most part. And I've had some amazing food, and there's a lot of Wi-Fi. That's another nice thing is like all the cafes have Wi-Fi, which again, depending on where you are in the world, like sometimes it's easy to find, but here, like everywhere has Wi-Fi. So that's very nice. And the Wi-Fi is pretty stable. The electricity has gone out once. I've heard that electricity going on and off, water shutting on and off can be common at times, but we've had that only happen once for like 2 hours. So that was kind of fun. It was at nighttime, it was in the evening time. And so we lit candles and the girls were all excited to have like, primitive electricity free time. All right. I think that's the extent of my rambling today about what I love and hate about Albania. I'm sure we will collect more over time. But yeah, I would say the biggest number one dislike is the water situation and the tap water being a little scary and gross. And then the best part would be the proximity to the beautiful sea with the whites and the teals and turquoise. And maybe I'll put like a picture of the water as the thumbnail. Thank you for joining me today for this little exploration, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is. And just a reminder that you are a soul and you're here to enjoy the fuck out of your life. And so if you're not enjoying the fuck out of your life, make some changes. Start saying no to shit that you don't want to do. Start saying yes to more things that you do want to do. It's really important because this is your one life and you're here to enjoy it. All right. Bye, guys.